Hey guys, Gary J here. Showing you a problem I just encountered. Just put a new battery in my motorcycle here. That was about 5 years old. And this icon here is showing you that the trunk is not shut. It's not locked into place, which is a good thing to know that your trunk is not locking. So I opened the trunk and closed it about 5 times. About 10 times, and see if something's loose there or whatever. But anyway, took everything out, and still I got this icon right here showing me that the trunk is not locking. So we'll look at the trunk. Now I've got the trunk up to show you that light, how it looks. Eventually you're probably going to have this kind of problem. Well, when you look at the back of the GoldWing here, right here are your latches, one here and one here are your latches right here. Now those latches, you've got these hooks right here that go into those latches. You got one there, you got one here, and there's 2 screws under here, and I've got a problem with one screw coming out. I need to put Loctite on both of these screws, because one comes out and this will swing out, and when it does, it's not going to close like it's supposed to. It's not going to lock like it's supposed to. So put Loctite on these screws right here if you've never done that. There are 3 different types of Loctite. Some is like super heavy duty. You don't want that one probably. You want a moderate Loctite on the screws for this right here. Okay. So that's one issue right there. Make sure that's tight on both of these right here. Those 2 screws, and you can see the screws right there. Okay. Make sure they're not loose. If they are, tighten it up. That might fix your problem. It has in the past with me. Anyway, there's a cover, and I'll try to show you this cover. This is the cover over the latch. Here's your latch, so you can't get your finger in here hardly to do anything. But there are 5 Phillip head screws like that. There's 5 of those, and you take those off, and that's your plate right there. Now you're going to see a bunch of nuts here. They're all over the place. And you think, well, I got to take all these nuts off and I got to take those screws out. No, don't mess with the nuts. Leave the nuts alone. All you got to do is take off this piece right here. The 5 Phillip head screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all that holds this plate on. When you take that plate off, now you have access to the locking mechanism of your GoldWing. Okay, now this is the main part that locks. That little square loop goes in here and pushes this down, this plunger down, and it also turns this locking mechanism. It just rolls it over. Okay, so it kind of just rolls it over when that rectangle hook comes down. Well, this one, I looked at this one, was fine, but this one over here was all the way down, and I couldn't get it back up. I pushed on it and everything, it wouldn't come back up. So what I did was take off this cover that was in it, in front of it, right? And this thing has got a lip to it. Get oriented with this camera. It's got a lip right here. So put my finger underneath here and finally pull that thing up. And what happens, this is the little chamber right here. It's kind of, stuff can leak out right there. But anyway, I use this wrench silicone spray and sprayed this real good and made sure it ran down inside here and cleaned off any contaminants that might be on this plastic. You can spill Coke, tea, or anything sticky, and it can accidentally run over this right here, and if it does, it can cause this thing to stick. And sometimes it's just gunk. Anyway, I sprayed all of this down, everything here, and I wiped it down with a wash rag. And this thing has a spring. It's kind of hard to see. Right here's a spring right here. Clean that spring real good too. Both of them are identical, so do the same with both. So anyway, that was the problem. This plunger was stuck down. I had to pull that up and then clean it really good, and I used that liquid wrench again to do that. So, you know, dust, dirt, grime, spilling stuff accidentally on this latch or whatever, you know, dew, whatever it might be, could foul it out eventually. So, in the past, I've had the light, trunk light come on that LED screen, and it was because that this latch right here I was talking about. This latch right here, one of the screws had come out, and this right here was kind of to the side. It wasn't square like it's supposed to be like that. So that's kind of the cure for that if you have this problem. And I was thinking there's one other thing I want to show you since we're right in here. I didn't realize this for a long time. Let me see what I'm thinking about here. Okay, guys, I know what I wanted to tell you now. Since we got everything out of the trunk here, and we're talking about trunk issue, sometimes you know, you got your lever here for the trunk, and you got a lever over here underneath here. You can pull this one. Well, we'll pull it. All right. So we pull this one, and our side compartment opens, right? Well, you know, if you got a GoldWing long enough, sometimes it does not open. Okay? Sometimes you pull on that thing and you pull on it and it don't open, and you say, I don't know how in the world I'm going to get my stuff out of here. So how do you get your stuff out if it won't open? Alright, there's a fail-safe system or a loop, a way around that. And when you look in the back, now of course, you know, this piece opens up. You could put stuff in here. I'm going to tell you, don't put stuff in here unless it's waterproof or you put it in a bag. I had one of these iPods, and I had it out of the way underneath here, right? And so nothing could happen to it. And so I listen to music on those when you're, you know, in places you can't get music, or, you know, whatever you want to hear. So anyway, my thermos, I had like two, I always carry 2 thermoses full of something. But one of my thermoses, I don't know what happened, didn't put the top on right, good enough. And anyway, that whole thermos leaked out. And when it leaked out, guess where it went? Right in here. And it waterlogged my other iPod, which was a lot better than this one. Well, it had a lot better songs on it than this one. So it killed that iPod, which most people probably don't use iPods anymore anyway. But for me, that was an inconvenience, to say the least. I guess it was anyway. And so what I was going to show you about the side doors on your GoldWing. Here and over here. I've already pulled this one up. So you put a knife blade under here or whatever you want to. Pull this up right here. And gee, I don't know if you're going to be able to see inside here. maybe you can see a little bit of that. There's a plunger. Anyway, there's a plunger about so long, and you can put your finger on that plunger and just push it. You put your finger on, let's see, it's right there. If this light will come on and show you. No. Anyway, the plunger is straight down here, and it's a little plunger, and you can put your finger on top of it. You just push it. This is like a push button thing. Just push that plunger. It's got a rubber cap around it and everything. But just push it. It's real easy to push. Anyway, when you push that plunger, it will pop that door loose on the side. So you can open it. So for some reason, if you can't get it to open by pulling on the handle here on either side, then take everything out. Take this cap off right here. And look in there, and you can see it, a plunger, and take your finger and just push that little plunger. It's only about so long, and it's rubber. It's got rubber around it. So push that, and it'll pop that side door open for you. Okay, so that way you're not stranded trying to get stuff out. Because I've had times when I had, I was trying to get the thing open, or maybe a rain jacket or something like that, and I couldn't get it open because I don't know why. Maybe stuff was pushed against it and at odd weight transfer or something, whatever. So that's good to know that you can always pull these up and push that little plunger. Same thing on this side. You just put your finger there and push it, and just by pushing it half an inch, it'll pop that door open. Okay, that way you can get in. Well, I just want to share that with you guys because it's getting time now in March here to really start riding again. Thanks for watching, guys. Gary J. Okay, guys, we were testing out our GoldWing after working on the trunk, and drove up to the lake, and really pretty out here. It's about 7:48. People fishing on the dock here. A lot of times they're fishing for crappie this time of evening. Yeah, got a boat coming in. Nice truck there coming onto this trailer. Yeah, it's fishing time. I love to fish. I don't fish as much as I'd like. There's some gold mines way back over there. Used to be, they say it costs more money to dig the gold up than it does than it's worth. So you can't do much about that. Yeah, this is a great thing about riding a motorcycle. Temperature 63 degrees, and it was 73. It was cooling off. You can smell the water. You can smell fish too. I can't smell fish here, but a lot of times you can smell the fish too if they're there.